Hello guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to EL. Good, very nice. So today I'm gonna teach you some phrases in this short video. Those phrases are confusing for beginners. So there are how do you do, what do you do, how are you doing, and what are you doing. Four phrases that I think are confusing for beginners. So together we're gonna try to make difference between them. First, we start with how do you do and what do you do. Okay, how do you do? The first thing that you have to understand, how do you do is not a question. No, it's not a question. How do you do is not a question. When someone says to you, how do you do? You have to say back to the person, how do you do? How do you do? How do you do? It's not a question. Okay, it's like saying pleased to meet you, happy to meet you, delighted to meet you. This is what it means. Okay, so when someone says how do you do, you say how do you do. We use it when you meet someone for the first time. You meet someone for the first time, you use how do you do after greeting, of course, after greeting, getting to know each other, I mean introducing yourself to each other. So after that, now you can use how do you do when you meet someone for the first time. That's how you use how do you do. Now, what do you do means you want to know somebody's job. Okay, we use it to know when you want to know somebody's job. It's a question. So, how do you do is not a question. It is not a question. So, what do you do is a question. You want to know somebody's occupation or job. For example, when I ask you, what do you do? Okay, yes, you, what do you do? You can say, I am a student, okay, I am a mechanic, I am a teacher. It depends on what you do, what job you're doing. So when I say, what do you do? So you tell me the job you are doing. You say what you're doing. So you see, so this is what do you do is a question to know somebody's occupation or job. Okay. Now the two last sentences are what are you doing and how are you doing. Good. Now when you say what are you doing, it doesn't mean that you want to know my job. What are you doing is a question that you ask when you want to know what someone or somebody is doing at the moment. At the moment, what someone is doing or performing at the moment, you say, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, I can say, I am teaching. For example, when you ask me right now, what are you doing? I can say, I am teaching or I am speaking English. So you see, when you want to know what somebody is doing at the moment of speaking, you can say, what are you doing? Oh, I'm speaking on the phone or I'm doing something. You see, good. So this is what I'm doing. And now, how are you doing? How are you doing is when you want to know how somebody is feeling. Okay? How somebody is feeling, whether the person is well or the person is not well, is sick. So you say, how are you doing today? I'm doing well, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm fine. So how are you doing is like, how are you? How are you doing is like, how are you? So you see the difference now? Okay, let me come back to summarize. I said, how do you do is not a question. You use it when you meet someone for the first time. And what do you do is a question. You use it to ask somebody's job. Okay? And how are you doing? This is a question also that you ask to know how somebody is feeling. Okay, and what are you doing is to know what someone is doing at a particular moment. What are you doing? So what are you doing at the moment right now? So these are the four sentences, or let's say the four phrases that I would like to make difference between them because they are let's say confusing for beginners. So if you find that this is interesting for you and you got any question, just put it in the comment below, just in the comment section, and I will try to get back to you. Welcome and thank you very much. Bye bye. Thank you.